confused at how this happens every week.
Boone, that microphone really sucks really bad. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I mean,
even the voice coming out.
The most consistent thing about our podcast is this every week. Absolutely every week. This and Boone giving shitty takes.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. No.
What about now?
Yes.
Yay!
Bro.
All right, welcome back. Another episode of 2.5 Fans. Today, we're going to be talking about the college football playoff first reveal. We're going to talk a little Michigan State from the past weekend. Got my boys here, Boone. Got my boy Cookie in the building. How we doing, boys? Good to see you.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
It's good to see the boys.
I'm surprised
weekend,
surprised you're still repping the blue and yellow like that. The maize and blue.
Can't hop off can't hop off just from a loss, If you're with them,
Not
you're with
just
them.
from a loss. I mean, this is like a
The loss.
This is the loss.
I mean,
So
it was.
Let's start there. Let's start with that, and then we'll get into the playoff reveal from tonight. Boone, what were your thoughts? You were expecting a much more vaunted Michigan defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it came down to that, like I said, the running, the defense, and Kenneth Walker ran on us. I just came out of the game looking like Michigan State and Michigan, I think, are both legit teams at the end of the day. Like, that was a good game. Like, it was a legit game. I respect Michigan State a lot more. I'll tip my hat to them that they came out ready to play. But we
so many opportunities. So many opportunities for Michigan to win the game.
I felt like we dominated the whole game until the end, and we just couldn't finish them off in the second half, and then we let them back in it, and then we just give them the game. So I just felt like I don't think Michigan's a bad team, and I don't think Michigan State's a bad. I think they're both two good teams. So.
What did I tell you guys before the game? And you guys always make fun of me for being such an angry ass fan, but how can you trust Jim Harbaugh in these situations? I mean, Cookie, you're just smiling right now. You got your fucking glasses on, dude, smiling from ear to ear. All right, the floor is yours. I mean, you deserve it. Go ahead, brother. Celebrate.
Dude, speechless. I got nothing more to say than the game itself. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Boone, you said that Kenneth Walker isn't going to do anything against your team. He said that Michigan State's only going to score 2 touchdowns and then maybe a field goal or 2. You didn't think we were going to score more than 20 points.
I mean, I won't. If I'm going to talk shit, it's hard for me because there was like a couple plays where Michigan did it to themselves. That fourth and inches false start early in the game, second drive, I think it was, or third drive. Blake Corum dropped that pass, was going to be for sure nice big long gain, if not a touchdown.
The fumble in the end zone. That was easily a touchdown. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to move past that because there was a point where Michigan was in control even past that. The key moments, though, I think, were that false start on 4th and inches that turned into a punt. Then, obviously, the J.J. McCarthy. We'll argue this so people are blue in the face. I think it was terrible to put him back in. I guess there was a medical issue with Cade. But, yeah, to say I'm surprised, I hate to say I told you so, because I've been saying it for a long time. I feel like it's Groundhog's Day with Jim Harbaugh every year, man.
Yeah. So, Boone, on the podcast last week, you stated that Michigan's receivers don't drop balls. And you guys had multiple drop balls for first downs.
I don't really think that the
take a step back, Cookie, because
you guys should have put the game away in the second half. Coming out of the second half, you guys should have put the game away.
We should have.
Okay, but you guys couldn't catch a ball. You guys had Cade McCarthy.
The passing game was pretty good.
Cookie, you could have came into this episode hitting us with that running game, and you just came at me with the pass game.
Yeah, well, I told you.
Take the glasses off. You don't deserve to have the glasses on.
I like the glasses.
I have nothing. I
love them. But you just came at me with the pass game.
I said I have nothing to say. Cade, your quarterback outplayed our quarterback. That's for sure. I would say that he played like I couldn't even recognize him. I watched every single Michigan game.
Well, in big spots, and here's what I said. You guys can You guys can check me if I was wrong, but I did say it would come down to the fourth quarter. It would come down to play calling. It would come down to which quarterback played the
So
best.
it comes down to that.
But
Yeah.
you guys did drop
Well,
your wide
what-
receivers dropped some balls that they should have caught.
It-
And they were put on the target in your hands. You guys had some drops that would have been first downs. You guys,
Yeah, but I did not
Yeah, it
say
wasn't the
that
passing
our receivers were the best in the country
no,
whatsoever.
but you said that they don't drop. You're like,
all
they
right,
don't.
well, let's
it's not
not
like they
spend
drop
too
balls.
let's not spend too long
Come
on
on,
it. It
Cookie.
sucks. Michigan
suck on
sucks. Michigan sucks under Jim Harbaugh. There's no.
It's just coaching decisions.
I would
at the end
have,
of the day,
honest to
man.
God, if it wasn't for the fact that I have to be a Michigan fan on this podcast, I would have took Michigan State all day last week.
Yeah,
we did.
I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I said I wasn't. Act like I wasn't. I mean, I think it was
when we were
pretty
up
obvious
16
going into it.
when we were up 16 and Twitter started going crazy and started doing the whole Michigan already closed this thing out. I'm like, are you guys crazy?
Jeff Rieger made a tweet. It made him look.
Oh, he got killed. The
Yeah.
whole couple 97-1 guys got killed.
Yeah.
But hey,
Shout out to
congratulations.
Michigan State though.
Yeah, Mel Tucker's a G.
For you guys to we were up 16 to come back from that, and honestly,
they did everything right.
Michigan State had no control of the game until the end of the game.
Both
and
2-point conversions.
took advantage of every mistake we made.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. That's why you can only tip your caps to
Jim Harbaugh. When are we going to talk about?
Wins.
When are we going to talk about Jim Harbaugh just being unable to have a big win? I mean, he just can't do it.
I don't know. It's these decisions, if you're up 16, what do you how do you in that big of a game, how do you give up that lead?
And your offense isn't it's not like your offense wasn't producing. Your offense was producing yards. You guys were running.
Then they stopped though. Then they stopped. Unfortunately, they didn't produce in the fourth quarter. It was a couple throws.
How many field goals did we settle for? Four field goals.
I say it all the time.
We don't finish.
Jim Harbaugh is just not the mentality of Michigan. All the comments before the game, Taylor Lewan, Braylon Edwards, it trickles down. The mentality of Michigan is so archaic and so old, and we have to move past that. Michigan State is in the best spot possible because every single year we just give them all of the motivation. We're like, it's ridiculous. Why do we keep giving them motivation? If you think those kids don't hear that stuff, you're crazy. They do. Let's move on to the college football playoff. Michigan State got rewarded.
Glasses off.
Nah, keep them on, brother. You look great. Almost famous.
Keep them on. I've got.
Well, let's do the college football playoff. Let's start with the teams that matter at 8. Oklahoma, Michigan. I'm pretty surprised they came in at number 7. Cincy, Ohio State, 6 and 5, and then number 4, Oregon. Number 3, Michigan State. Congratulations, Cookie. You guys got rewarded for that huge win. And then rounding out the top 2, Bama and Georgia. So let's start with Boom with Oklahoma. You've been out on Oklahoma for pretty much the entire year. Sounds like the committee kind of came in the same. They put them in at 8 undefeated, a couple one-loss teams over them. What are your thoughts about Oklahoma coming in that way?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't played anyone. They haven't played one game of it.
Yeah,
they haven't
Texas
played one team in the top
anymore.
25.
Yeah.
If you look at that college football top 25, not one team in there Oklahoma played. And Kirk Herbstreit said the same thing on there. The only good game they played was last week versus Texas Tech. Before that, was it Tulane is who they played and almost lost to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tulane only has won one game all year, and they almost beat that Oklahoma. Like the Oklahoma team, I think they're kind of a fraud. The Big 12 is a little down, and they haven't played the two teams that are good in the Big 12, Baylor and Oklahoma State. They haven't even played them yet, and
they're factoring that in. So they're factoring that into that number 8 spot, number 8 seed. What are you more surprised about, them at 8 or Michigan at 7?
Michigan at 7. I thought Michigan was going to be 8, 9, or 10.
Agreed.
I didn't think Michigan.
Agreed.
I think
I thought Oklahoma would be in that 7 range, probably. Right there, the next
I
team.
thought the 7 range. I think us being moved up is because it was a Michigan State loss. They respect. They see what Michigan State, the Big 10 Big 10's kind of. You could tell by this, they're looking at the Big 10 pretty high.
Yeah, Cookie, are you surprised by the 3 rank for Michigan State?
I am a little bit surprised. I saw.
I am as well.
Yeah, I would have. I don't want them to have that 3 rank right now. I want them to beat Ohio State and earn that. We beat 2 top 25 teams, correct? It was Miami at the time, who was top 25, and then now Michigan, which was a top 10. I believe we deserve a number 5 rank. I the thing is that strength of record that they said, I don't understand how our strength of record.
I just think I think the
is-
strength of record, they were showing it before. I just don't think that at this, like when you get into the top 7, I wouldn't say like that it's as big of a deal because basically we're all playing each other at that point.
Yeah,
at some
it's going to
point.
come down to
So I think that strength of record goes kind of out the door. You start looking at head-to-head matchups, and then you start looking at who we played that are in this top 25 that they just released instead of like, those ranked teams
Yeah.
before.
Well,
yeah.
hey, they gave
I'm not
us 3.
surprised. I'm not
We're gonna take
surprised
it.
that like once you've seen the ranking, I'm not surprised by it. I'm surprised going into it. I would have probably had him at 5-2 as well. But it
Yeah.
sounds like the committee is really valuing Michigan State's win over Michigan. They're really valuing Oregon's win over Ohio State.
Yep.
And what they're saying right now is that Ohio State has looked good so far, but they don't have a big win enough to put them in. But what they're doing is they're actually like they're in a no lose situation because, like you said, Boone, we're all going to play each other. Or
Yeah, the
they're all
strength
gonna-
of record, like Michigan State's too, but like I took the picture of it. All of these teams that are in the top 10 are all basically top 10 to strength and record. Like they're all right there.
Yeah,
Like we're all playing each other. We're all playing the same teams. It's just going to come down when we play each other. What's going to happen, and how do you play the other teams, or who's
what
your
I meant by they're in a no lose situation is if you put Michigan State at 3, it's going to work itself out because they got to play Penn State,
Ohio State. Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's talk a couple scenarios. Let's see where we're at with the Final Four. What we think is going to kind of be the ending here now that we have the first look at it. So the first thing that stands out to me is Alabama, Georgia 1-2. So the scenario being what everybody's thinking about is they meet in the SEC championship game, and there's 2 scenarios. Well, obviously, if Alabama wins, do they both get in?
Yes.
First question.
Yes.
Alabama wins, Georgia. Yeah, they both.
They have to. Georgia is the most dominant team, even if
Okay.
one loss against the number 2 team.
So
looking
loss-
at the other teams here. Yeah.
Would
They
it,
have to.
and we there's no way I don't want to say there's no way, but the chances of them blowing Georgia out in a win are very low. Blowing them out to enough where they fall out of the Final Four. So we're all in agreement that if Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game, they both still get into the Final Four.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, second question. If Georgia beats Alabama in a close game, does a 2-loss Alabama get in?
Not if coming out of the Big Ten they're undefeated and Oregon wins out.
Well, there's no one.
I don't think so because
Well,
the Big Ten's going to have a one-loss
MSU could
team.
have a So let's play a scenarios where there's nobody that's undefeated except for Georgia. Let's assume that whoever comes out of the Big Ten has 1 loss. Whoever wins the Big Ten. Let's say it's Ohio State or Michigan State. Let's say Oregon has 1 loss.
Don't forget Michigan too.
Michigan has 2 losses at this point if Ohio State only has 1 loss.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
So you know what I mean? Like whoever has the 1 loss.
I think
coming out
there's
of the
going to
Big
be a
Ten.
Big Ten team in there no matter what because like
What I'm asking is this. What I'm asking is this: is the 2-loss Alabama get in over a 1-loss?
No,
No.
Do
because
they get in over? Do they get in over a 1-loss Oregon?
No.
Yes.
Oh, over 1 loss? Yeah.
Yeah.
1 loss Oregon. Yeah.
Well,
because
Oregon already has a loss and they're at the 4 spot.
Wait, Oregon's
this is-
1
this
loss
is-
right now?
Yes.
If Oregon's
Yeah,
1
but this
loss
is-
and they went out, Oregon's in. 100%.
No, this is the situation though. If Michigan State beats Ohio State or Michigan beats Ohio State and though one of those teams maybe have 1 loss, that team's going to get over because they have a win over Ohio State, just like
Michigan
Oregon.
is not going to beat Ohio State. Please.
Are we
please.
talking
Don't
what
waste
if
this
here?
podcast. Yeah. What if I hit the lotto tomorrow? I'll buy us all a podcast studio. Michigan's not beating Ohio State. Okay. Let's talk about
So-
shit that's really going to happen.
So like let's say
All right,
now,
so Michigan State's going to lose to Ohio State.
So
So
let's
Ohio
say-
State's in. Done.
well, no,
wait.
Michigan State can win a big game. They have
Yeah.
shown.
No, come on.
Wait. Okay, so now let's say Ohio
Michigan
State.
and Michigan State are the same.
Let's say Ohio State for some reason
Nope.
enters the Michigan. Let's say Ohio State beats Michigan State, but loses to Michigan. Okay, but Michigan State
Michigan
only
State
had-
goes to the Big Ten title game.
So Michigan State goes to the Big Ten title game. If Michigan State loses in the Big Ten title game,
They're
they're
out.
not in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're out. They're 2 loss. And that's not
Yeah.
my. No.
Wait, say that again.
So so it could very much well be that there's no Big Ten team because Iowa can still
Michigan State won't get into the Big Ten championship game though if Ohio State beats them. So that would never happen.
Not if
right?
no, if Ohio State loses to Michigan.
Then Michigan State gets in.
Yeah.
And if Michigan State, well, if that happens and Michigan State loses in the Big Ten championship game,
Then there's no Big Ten team in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Michigan would get in with one loss. Michigan would easily get in with one loss. They would get in over Oregon. That's what I was trying to say
I don't know. That's
2
not
minutes
gonna,
ago.
That's not
That's
a
like
good.
a big what if.
That's not a
It's
good
That's what I'm
scenario.
saying,
big
though.
what if.
Are
Let's
we
stay on
talking
track
what
here,
ifs?
boys. Let's stay on
Wait,
track here.
So
Let's
wait,
stay on
so
track.
next,
on track.
week, Ohio State has like a Nebraska game. That's not an easy game for them.
Ohio State's going to
They're
win
going to
out.
beat Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Ohio
think,
State's going to win out. There's going to be a one-loss Big Ten team. There's going to be a undefeated. I hope Cincinnati loses, but I'm glad the committee has shown they're not a Final Four team, and I'm glad. I don't even want to I wouldn't even want to fathom the thought of them being in the Final Four. So the question is going to come down to really, I think, is going to be the Alabama-Georgia game. That's going to dictate everything.
yeah. So
Because there's either going to be 3 spots up for grabs or 2. If there's
Yeah.
2 spots up for grabs, then you have the winner of the Big Ten, you have the winner of the Pac-10, and you have Oklahoma lingering.
you also have Cincy lingering.
Cincy is not going to be in the final.
Did they,
So
hey,
Cincy,
Jay,
the only way
Jay,
Cincy
did they used to call the Pac-12 the Pac-10?
Yeah.
Did I say Pac-10?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got a
Oh,
little
Pac-12.
old,
Yeah, sorry,
old head,
sorry.
old head.
So
Yeah.
Cincy could slide in if there's a 2-loss.
And did you just ask
Big
me
Ten
if they
champion.
used to call the Pac-12 the Pac-10? I mean,
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It used to be 10 teams. Now it's 12. It
was
wasn't
probably-
always called the Pac-12.
It was probably before I was born.
No, it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was more recent.
But that's probably when you started watching sports.
I don't know. Does the Big Ten have 10 teams?
Big Ten has 12, dude.
So why aren't we the Big 12 then?
We're not called the Big 12. We're called the Big Ten. It's got the 2 things down the side of the
None
team.
of that
man.
makes sense to me.
How does that make sense? Because there used to be a Big 12.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, there
So you
still is
can't
Big
read-
12.
So we're the Big 10.
Yeah, I know. But you said the Pac-10. It's you were like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
10
that
teams.
doesn't. It doesn't take
we have 12 teams and we have what's called.
You're a
the Big 12.
basketball guy.
We used to have 10 teams.
Yeah, I understand that, but come on.
You're a basketball guy. You don't know about the Pac-10.
Let's just keep doing these what ifs that aren't
Go
what
ahead.
ifs.
Read a couple off. I'll.
I'm
so
not- you guys go on your
No,
what
no,
ifs.
I'm
Because
still serious about
when
this.
I call out a what if, it's like that's not happening.
Wait, I'm
These
still
are what
serious
ifs,
about
What if-
this.
fellas.
So
Your what if requires Jim Harbaugh to win a fucking game. Get the fuck out of here.
wait. So this is a legitimate what if. So if the Big Ten champion is a 2-loss team, you're saying Cincy doesn't slide up in there.
No, that means that Oklahoma 1 loss, Georgia or Oregon 1 loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, since he's out, they're done.
That sucks for Cincy.
Because they were supposed to play a top 25 SMU team.
Yeah, who else
SMU's
is up
not
there?
even
Wake
in the top
Forest or
25.
whatever. I mean, Cincinnati cannot be. in the
Now,
Final
what
Four.
happens
Come
if
on.
Oklahoma State or Baylor wins out?
Then they would get in over a
Do
Cincy
they-
for sure.
So those are other what ifs. What if Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma and wins all the way out? Do they get in over?
Yeah, because eventually Michigan State and Michigan will fall. My prediction. Because
Those are teams in the 9 through 12 spot who are 8-0 and 7-1. And
What about Notre
Dude,
Dame?
no, that Michigan State win this weekend, the Michigan fans do not realize that how big that win was. Because let's say they do lose to Ohio State, okay, they're gonna get that 6th spot, and they're gonna get a sick bowl, huge bowl, and Michigan's gonna get the fucking Holiday Bowl. We're gonna play like the fucking South Carolina Gamecocks again. We're gonna get the fucking Outback Bowl.
I'm just excited, man. I'm so excited.
I'd be
how
so
Michigan
excited for
State
you, man.
looks,
You have
dude.
so much. You have so much to look forward to.
I
Let me
know
read
we
a
have
couple of
big
Boone's what
games.
ifs here. Let's read a couple of Boone's what ifs. Oklahoma loses to Baylor or Oklahoma State. Are they out? I would say that if Oklahoma is 1 loss and wins the Big 12, they're still in. They got a shot.
Oh yeah.
do you think so?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
coming down. I mean, majority of the time, it's 1-loss teams that make the Final Four.
I mean, they're 9-0.
But
And they're
Michigan
eighth.
State and Michigan and Ohio State, they're all going to beat each other up. So they're going to fall out.
But
You
so
can't
so
have
if
3 teams from the Big Ten in the top 7.
the 1-loss team, they're going to have to play that team twice. They're going to have
Who-
to play that
who
team
do
in
you
the
mean?
Big 12.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. If
you know what I
they're-
mean?
if Oklahoma happens to stumble to an Oklahoma State or a Baylor, but they do somehow
So-
win the Big 12,
So this is what
They're
we're
in.
saying. This is what you're saying. You're saying the SEC will have one or two. The Big Ten will have their winner in. Now, what's going to happen if the Big 12, if it's
yep, that's the deciding
a
factor.
10,
right
two
there.
10-1 teams in the Big 12 championship, does the winner get in over Oregon?
If
Because Oregon
if
doesn't have a
Oregon-
tough schedule going forward. You know,
yeah,
what,
but
you know what I'm
Oregon
saying?
Oregon will have the win over Ohio State,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they'll have a Pac-10 title game,
Yeah.
a Pac-12
Pac-12.
championship.
Yeah. So
But
is
so
that-
Oregon,
is that-
if Oregon wins out, they're in. 100%.
Is that
There's no one
Pac-12
jumping them.
See, this is what I'm saying though, is that Pac-12 title game isn't as good as this Big 12 one. The Big 12 title game is going to be versus a top 15 college football playoff team.
I don't think you
Pac-12
can.
one's going to be.
I don't think you can keep a
So
one
then-
loss.
so
I
then
don't
you
think you
look
can
at-
keep a one loss Oregon out.
But then you look at the 2-1 losses. Oklahoma's one loss is to the number 12 Baylor. Oregon's one loss is to
Ohio State, who will
Ohio-
also be
no,
in the
no,
top
it's to
4.
Stanford. Theirs is to
right, their
Stanford.
their big
They
win, their
beat
big
Ohio
win.
State, but
If it comes down to a loss,
then you could
then-
say, oh, Oklahoma beat Baylor and Oklahoma State. So like, what are they
So
I
if
know,
going?
but the
Ohio
Oregon to Ohio State, that win is it's the biggest win out of all of those wins.
Yeah, but
all
then it
those
comes
wins.
down. See, it all circles back really to that Big Ten. Because then if Ohio State somehow loses to Michigan or Michigan State, then that looks worse for Oregon, and that puts a Big 12 steam in. So
Yeah, I don't disagree
you
with
see
you
what I'm
there.
saying? Do you
I
see
don't-
what
I
I'm
don't disagree
saying?
with you on that
So
one.
it all like circles back to that Big Ten too. So a
gonna
lot
be-
falls
It's
on
going
those
to be
games.
interesting. It is going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
I think the most important thing is going to be the Georgia Bama game, because it's either going to free up 2 spots or 3 spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, I
that-
think if Bama loses one more, I think just the 2 losses. Looking at like other teams' records and who they've played, like I think a 2-loss Bama team is just gone. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's
they have to
2-loss
win.
2-loss Bama.
But
2-loss
still,
Bama is still 2-loss Bama, man. You know what I mean?
two-loss
Yeah, I mean,
Bama
they're
was
still
shit on Oregon.
And it speaks to it too, because they're number 2 right there with a loss, with a
Yeah.
bunch of other undefeated. teams
Bama, just
behind
because
them.
they have a loss doesn't mean
They're the
you know,
best one.
Bama
They're the
could-
best. They're the best one-loss team for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bama could be
they're
anybody.
better
anytime.
than some undefeated teams. Like,
All right,
it's-
let's do this. Let's do this. Who wins the Big Ten? Boom.
Ohio State.
Cookie.
Michigan State, baby.
All right, I'm going Ohio State. Who wins the Big 12?
Oklahoma.
Boone.
Man, I'll go Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
I think this new quarterback is going to start rolling. I think that
Yeah.
what's his name found his guy. Lincoln Riley found his guy. I think if Spencer Rattler didn't start the season, Oklahoma would be in the top 4 right now.
We'll know at the
Yeah.
end of this week. We'll know at the end of this week.
So we
if
all we're all in
Oklahoma's
agree.
serious.
So we're obviously a Cookie has to take Michigan State, and I'd be so fucking pumped for the rest of the season. So I personally think winner of the Big Ten gets in. There'll be a 1-loss team.
Yep.
I think winner of I think Oklahoma's going to get in, and I think Bama and Georgia are both going to get in. That's my
Yeah.
prediction. What
Yeah.
do you
I
think?
don't-
I think for me, I think it's going to stay just how it is. With Michigan State, it's either going to be Michigan State or Ohio State.
Yeah, that's
I
the
predict-
3 spots for the Big Ten. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be
I
Georgia,
believe-
Alabama, Oregon, and Ohio State. I think it'll go right back to what we thought at kind of
I'm-
earlier in the year.
I'm sticking with Michigan State. They got momentum. They're coming off a big win. I hope they destroy Purdue. They're gonna beat Maryland. Then they got Ohio State and then Penn State, 2 back-to-back big games. I think Michigan State are gonna go into the Big Ten championship undefeated.
Wow, that would be incredible, and they'll probably play Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. You think now?
I think that's what's
Or
shaping up, right?
Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't think Iowa's
Iowa
gonna
fell
do that.
off, huh?
Minnesota's the
had a
head
couple
of.
weeks.
I'm pretty sure. at the
Yeah.
moment.
So what can any games this weekend really do any games this weekend really stand out that can
This-
dictate the playoff?
I mean, Oklahoma is
Oklahoma State, right?
Oklahoma's at Baylor.
Baylor. Yeah.
Baylor. I'm sorry, you're right.
Oklahoma,
That's
a big
huge.
game.
That's huge.
Honestly, though,
That's probably the biggest game of of the week.
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna work itself out. It's gonna work itself out. I think the most important game of the year, and it just breaks my heart to say this, outside of the SEC championships and the Big 12 all the conference championships, the biggest game of the year upcoming is Michigan State, Ohio State. So depressing, man. Everything rides on that, I
Fucking
think, for
love
so
it.
many things.
I fucking love it too.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. I mean, Purdue's not a bad team either. And we're playing Purdue next week, so that could be a challenge for us. I mean,
It'd be a shame if you guys ended up getting a loss before the Ohio State game.
that would be
I
a
mean,
shame. I don't
would
see it
love-
happening the way that we played against Michigan. I do not see it happening.
Yeah, that'd be a real shame to get a letdown there.
No, that would
It'd be a
that
real
would-
shame if Kenneth Walker didn't score 5 touchdowns versus Purdue, and it was a close game.
Hey, regardless, I think the 5 touchdowns against Michigan.
That could
should
be the
sort
worst.
of-
That could be the worst take of all time.
Yeah. So that should be
Or
that might be
Clemson's
the
going to win the
worst.
national championship.
That might be that's not
that's
way worse.
preseason.
Way,
That's preseason.
way, your take was way worse.
Preseason, dog.
Way
We
worse.
were talking preseason. We took that. Okay, one of the favorites. So my whole thing is though, with Heisman,
Boone's first text message to me, man. Can I just read it and then we'll end we'll end it on that. I got to go back to our game. The first text to Boone is this definite from him to the group chat was the definition of being a Michigan fan. Hold on a second. Let me go back right here. Give me this. This is the definition. This is being a Michigan fan in a microcosm. Hold on one second. Let me go back to the game. I'll be able to tell you right away.
Boone's like sitting there waiting. He's like, "Oh shit."
No, it's not bad. It's nothing he did wrong. There's nothing he did wrong. Hold on a second here.
Except being a fan of the wrong team.
No, wait. I'm gonna read this. This is the definite. I'm gonna cut this shit ass part out. But it was one of my favorite things because it was making me laugh after the fact. Hold on a second. All right, I'm gonna cut all this out. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. The fucking I message, let's fucking go. So we must have scored. Okay.
Yeah.
Boone goes, electric offense, bad Michigan defense. Ha 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 ha. Let's go. Basically trashing us because his take was fucking spot on to start the game, right? And then if you just go down to the end, it's just me and Boone bitching back and forth. So funny. Oh my god. Boone.
Dude,
Here's the end of the game. I knew
Man
it.
had the best game of his life.
Here's the funniest part. I wish I could do that meme from SpongeBob where it's like 4 hours later. I knew it. This is me. I knew it. Not surprising the least. Jim Harbaugh, baby. Good win, my man. I'm saying that the cookie ate. Boone goes, I'll never watch sports again.
I was at my dad's wedding. I had drinks in me. I was
Oh
just,
my
it
God,
was-
dude. Just the roller coaster of emotions of a Michigan fan from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Let's go in all caps to I'm never watching football again.
hey, my boy Kenny, me and him were going back and forth the whole
Oh my
time.
God.
And at one point I said fuck. That's all I could answer to him. And then once the game started turning around, I was blowing him up. He didn't answer me one time. He didn't. He left me a red every single time, even till after the game. I called
At
him
least
too,
Boone,
no
at least
answer.
Boone and I manned up and showed up today. We were conspiring to take a week
I
off.
haven't been in a great mood. If you guys have,
If we would have recorded the minute the game ended, I would have been wild. I was going crazy.
I'll be honest with
I was
you.
about to burn a couch in Shelby Township.
I'll be
I was gonna
honest
flip
with
my
you.
own
I
car.
was this was the least hurt I've ever been by a loss. And normally it ruins my whole day, week, whatever you want to call it. The Michigan punt game, that ruined my whole month, my whole year. I guess I'm kind of used to Harbaugh letting us down.
Yeah,
It
that's
stinks,
sad.
man.
That's sad. That should know that you should be. He should
This-
be
It
fired.
is
era-
sad, bro. It
but-
is sad that I don't even care anymore that our rival stomped our ass and we were up 16. Like if 5-10 years ago, I would have been furious. I would have been swearing about the refs. I would have been on Facebook arguing with
I
grandmas.
mean,
I
we
would have
didn't
been
get
doing everything.
Hold it,
we
hold
didn't
it,
get
don't-
we didn't get blown out. Like
Yeah.
we didn't get stopped.
Well,
Like, we dominated until the fourth quarter.
well, you guys still having Harbaugh at the end of the season will tell
That's-
you that Michigan does not care about their
I
football
agree.
program.
Totally agree with you. I think
They're no
happy for
better.
them.
They are no better than the Lions. If they are no better than the Forts, if that's the thing, because they don't
Whoa.
care.
Whoa.
No.
Let's not
Dude,
get past that.
they have many opportunities to fire
No,
Harbaugh.
they're okay with being a 9 or 8 win or 10 win team. I agree.
I don't
with you.
understand how, because you guys have one of the most historic teams in the world. You guys should be in the top 4 every single year.
The coaching job that Mel Tucker has done in 24 months is better than what Jim Harbaugh has done in 7 years. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Tuck is coming for Ohio State.
Yeah. So all right, boys,
Fuck,
let's
you guys lose by 14.
so let's give a prediction here. What was that?
Nothing.
What was that, Boone?
They,
They're gonna get blown out by Ohio State too.
So let's obviously we don't know, but let's say we were in a time capsule right now. Let's fast forward to the last Final Four selection. Who's in? Well, I'm still on that. I don't know if I caught you guys. What you guys said? Who's in? Who's out?
who's in? Who's in? Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State. I'm gonna stick with Oregon.
Boone.
Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State.
Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think this new quarterback makes it happen.
I hope.
Another good episode. We'll see you next week. Boone's headset's broke. But we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us some comments, subscribe. Let us know what you're
nice
thinking.
about us.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, say something nice about us.
Say
before
something
we
nice
leave.
about us.
Yeah, it's only
About you
fair.
guys.
Yeah, please.
Michigan State's number 3.
Thanks.
That was anticlimactic.
Something nice about Jay.
Say something there's no E.
You have a nice microphone.
You do have a nice microphone.
I appreciate you guys, dog.
Yes.
This thing is my dog right here. All right, bro. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Congrats, Cookie. Enjoy the run.
Enjoy it.
We will
Got a
be
couple more
jealous,
weeks.
but Boone, I will say, we're down, but we're not out. I'll give it some faith. If we win the next couple games out, I will go back into the Ohio State game. I'll set myself up back for the disappointment again. So I'll do it with you. But I love you guys. Let's
just ride the roller coaster with me.
100%. I'm in, bro. Fucking see the
I'm
points.
scared of roller
Raptor,
coasters. I can't do it by myself.
I love you guys. We'll see you
I'll
next
hold your
week.
hand.
2.5 fans. Hit the like
Nope.
button, subscribe, leave some comments, tell us what you think, share it with your friends, leave us some topics of things you want us to talk about. We'll see you next week. Have a great week. Love you. Bye.